I'm Chike Aguh. I'm currently Senior Advisor at the Project on Workforce at Harvard University, and I'm the former Chief Innovation Officer of the U.S. Department of Labor. The key future of work issue in 2025, and I think for potentially the rest of the century, is how do we connect the work in America with the people who need work in America. I think right now we are in a very interesting economic time where we have a lot of jobs that are going unfilled in places like manufacturing, semiconductor fabrication, healthcare, in fields like quantum and artificial intelligence that are coming up. And we also have a huge number of Americans who historically are coming from communities that need work, from the hills of Appalachia to East and West Baltimore to parts of Nevada and places in between. We have people who need work, who have always needed work, and we have work that needs to get done. And the big challenge and the opportunity for the country is how we solve this. And if we don't solve it, what we are going to do is have an economy that's less competitive, a nation that's less secure, and potentially an electorate and a society that's more divided. The reason I say all this is that the through line of economic prosperity on the ground here in America is frankly making sure that enough people have work that is dignified, protected, and respected, that we have enough people in the fields that are going to make America great in the future, again, like semiconductors, like artificial intelligence, like manufacturing, like healthcare. And it's only by filling those jobs that America becomes geopolitically secure against adversaries around the world. The only way we do all of that is by connecting that the work that needs to get done with the people who need work. And if we achieve that, I think we are going to be able to say that not only do we preserve the American dream, but we actually, frankly, help extend and preserve and create the next American century. Employers are a critical piece in making this happen, and I'll say they have a couple of key pieces of work. I think number one, I think one of the key things that's clear is that what got you here won't get you there. To fill all these jobs, employers are going to need to go to communities, places where they have not recruited from before. And they're going to need to recruit people from those communities in new and different ways. And so what I always like to say is, do all the things that you've been doing, but you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to know how to work with community organizations who are on the ground in communities who may not have heard of your firm before, may not even have heard of your industry before, and figure out how you sell those jobs to those workers and not the other way around. That's number one. I think number two, we're going to have a really big conversation around job quality in America, because it's not just about now having a job, but it's about having a good job. And when I say a good job, I mean that's a job that I want my son to have, that I want my daughter to have, that I want my loved one to have. And that's because, frankly, there are not enough workers to go around. And so right now, workers have a lot of power in terms of where they choose to extend their time. And employers are going to really have to think about every single job, not just the skills required, which is critical, but also how is this job created so that it's sustainable, respected, protected, and dignified. The last piece is going to require employers to know more about their jobs and what's required to do them than they ever have before. They are going to have to know down to a skill level what every single job requires and know what they are in priority. And they're going to have to know what skills does someone need to come in with for me to hire them? What skills am I willing to train for? So employers are going to be a lot more to be asked of employers as we go forward into this next decade, into this next century. But if all that is done, again, we have an economy that is more prosperous, a nation that is more secure, and a society that is less fragmented because people are much more able to unite when they are not economically distressed and divided.